What is up? We are back and black in the building. Oh, messing with this different mic, so I changed my mics. I wanted something a little bit smaller. That other mic was nice, but it was in the damn way. But anyway, shout out to everybody out there at the Core Plantation doing what they got to do to survive. Man, shout out to the homegirl Shawnee, Philly in the building. The homegirl Erica, Florida, aka Florida in the building. Shout out to my brother James Youngblood, Texas in the building. Shout out to my brother David from No Compromise. Georgia's in the building. Shout out to all my siblings in Vegas, handling business, doing what they need to do. Man, shout out to them. The Tarriff game. Let's get it. Man, shout out to everybody out there. I like this mic. But anyway, yes, we've been seeing a lot of things going on. Let's see. Let's read a little bit. The rocky week on Wall Street continued on Thursday as investors grappled and further uncertainty from President Donald Trump's tariffs. U.S. stocks opened sharply lower but fluctuated on the mixed messaging coming from the White House. All three major indexes closed lower despite Trump announcing a nearly 1 month tariff delay on all products from Mexico and Canada that are covered by the USMCA Free Trade Treaty. Early in the day, U.S. Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick told CNBC that the president would likely announce a 1 month tariff delay on products that are covered by the USMCA. The Dow closed lower by 428 points or 0.99%. The broader S&P 500 fell 1.78%, and the NASDAQ Composite slid 2.61. The NASDAQ closed in correction territory, down 10% from the record high in December. That leaves the Dow almost 3% on the week, on track for its worst week since March 2023. The S&P 500 and NASDAQ are both on pace for their worst week since September 2024. The market is in the red during the Trump presidency, in part because of the uncertainty of the administration's trade policy has caused. The NASDAQ has fallen more than 7% since trade took office, and the S&P 500 is down more than 4%. Investor sentiments is struggling due to the persistent uncertainty around tariffs, according to Rob Hartworth, a senior investment strategist at U.S. Bank Wealth Management. Another crook. Eventually, the uncertainty is just going to weigh too much on business decisions and those forward prospects for earnings growth, Hartworth said. Also in focus for investors, recent data revealing the extent of recent layoffs and renewed concerns about spending on artificial intelligence. Wow. Futures tied to the Dow and tumbling in early trading as new economic data showed unease in the labor market. U.S.-based employers last month announced plans to slash 172,017 jobs, a 103% increase from January and the highest February total since 2009, according to Challenger Gray, a Christmas latest month job cut report. Futures tied to the NASDAQ 100 also fell in early trading as companies focused on the AI trade posted mixed earnings results and guidance for this year. Marvell Technologies, a chip maker, fell by almost 20%. NVIDIA, a Palantir, also slid, dragging the NASDAQ lower. Chinese tech giant Alibaba on Thursday announced its own AI model, challenging upstart DeepSeek, as well as OpenAI raises questions about whether the AI boom is the U.S. worth the money that is being poured into it. Thursday's declines as a reversal of the rally on Wednesday's afternoon, highlighting that investors lack clarity and confidence about the next developments in the brewing trade war between the U.S. and its biggest trading partners. For now, the tariff-induced inflation and slower growth could bring the economy dangerously close to stagflation, said Jeffrey Roach, another crook, chief economist at LPL Financial, in a note Wednesday. The U.S. dollar index, which measures the dollar's strength relative to 6 other currencies, fell to its lower level since November, signaling a weakening outlook for U.S. economy growth. Investors will be closely attuned to the government's monthly job report Friday, set to be released by the Bureau of Labor Statistics at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and giving investors more insight into how the economy is doing. All right. You want to know what I think? This is what I think. I think United States of America Incorporated was giving all the money away to the Ukraine and to all these outside entities like immigrants to replace the United States of American citizens. See, this is where the dominant society, the lower class, the people that live in the mobile home communities, and I got so many mobile home communities, I can show you where they live. If you were smart, you'd be like, hey, I don't want to hear nothing about no stocks falling or nothing. Y'all giving all y'all money away and trying to replace the United States of America labor force. The citizens. I mean, foundational Black Americans and the dominant society as well. But more the foundational Black Americans. You're too busy opening up the borders and letting everybody else come in and just paying and just keep paying and just keep paying, just keep paying. And now that it's messing with the stock and all these tariffs, now you want to blame it on the tariffs and blame it on Trump and he shouldn't be doing this. First of all, my question to all of you is, isn't Trump a Billy? So I think he knows kind of how business is conducted. And it's so funny that after Trump outed all these places that was getting big type of paper, like the Pine Sol lady, Stacey Abrams, how that $2 billion was tied to her. But we're not talking about that. We're talking about, oh my God, the stock, and we're headed for a recession, all this. Whether we're headed for a recession or not, let me ask y'all this. The United States of America Incorporated, are you guys going to bail out the banks like you did last time in 2008? Because your damn show didn't help no fucking people. You helped all the damn banks. So what are you planning on doing? Are you going to lower the interest rates? Because it seems like all these corporations want to go AI and replace the United States of Americans' citizens that trace back to the 1865 census. I'm not talking about immigrants or anchor babies. If we do a straight cleansing of citizens versus non-citizens, and if we were able to trace, which we can, and you don't belong here, that's what they should start doing. And they should start going on these corporate plantations and being like, nope, you're out of here. Nope. Oh, that job you're making $200,000 a year, out of here. See what they did to Joy Reid? Out of here. That's the problem. The excess spending on stuff that doesn't even matter. All that stock jargon is one thing, but us being replaced by AI and immigrants is another. And what they're trying to do, in my personal opinion, is mask how bad the economy is on, the tariffs. Let's just blame the tariffs. Okay, let's say he did do the tariffs. Then what y'all be blaming it on? Stop. All these fake ass so-called economists and all that. Man, I don't want to hear none of that. Where were these economists at when it was time for reparations for foundational Black Americans? It's so funny. When you owe a debt, you usually pay it, right? Or it goes on your credit. Well, the dominant society, y'all have an F in credit score with foundational Black Americans. F minus. Because you ain't planning on repaying anything. I don't care who's who's the president or the sitting president. And it's so funny how we can talk about all these things that don't matter, right? Oh, well, the GDP. When I hear people talking about the GDP and all this, I'd be like, do you work for the government? Do you work for the Pentagon? Ask a person this, y'all. What is the president's actual duties? He is the CEO of the Pentagon. He sells firearms and weaponry across the globe. That's really the job. That's why we spend so much money on armed forces. But the actual person that would probably argue down about it, they just want to give statistics. Remember, there's a book called How to Lie with Statistics. Everybody wants to give us statistics when it's time for foundational Black Americans to get land, wealth, and resources that are owed to us, but y'all have no problem turning a blind eye when it goes to the dominant white society Jewish community, which, hey, I'm not mad at them. They're getting reparations, but what's the difference between them and us? I would say what happened to them was atrocious. It was horrible, and that was horrible what happened to our Jewish brothers and sisters. But that also took place in Europe. What has happened to foundational Black Americans took place in the United States of America Incorporated landmass. I would all invite you to go read Medical Apartheid by Harriet Washington. Just read that book. You don't even have to read Black Labor White Wealth for this. Read that book. And it'll give you a different perspective, an open mind, and open heart to what we need to be paying attention to. So I just really think y'all should look at what's going on. Most people don't have no idea about stock and corporate plantations and how it affects their stock. You know why it affects their stock? Because the majority of these Fortune 500 companies have joint partnerships with the United States of America's incorporated government. Go look into them. See who does the most funding for these corporate plantation entities. You'd be very, very shocked how it works, unless you're talking about a J.P. Morgan or a Rothschild or Cornelius Vanderbilt, which is Anderson Cooper's great grandfather. Didn't know that, huh? While he sits on CNN and acts like he is really for the people. That's what y'all need to be looking at. Don't pay attention to the tariff game. Trump know what he's doing. And if y'all think that Joe Biden and Kamala Harris wasn't going to have us in no war and open up the floodgates, and that their whole goal was to replace us. See, the Republican Party don't like black folk anyway. They'll just tolerate us because of slavery in the 1800s and things like that. And they'll be nice, but they don't too much want to give us much of anything either, but they'll tell us to our face. The Democratic Party will rock you to sleep and have you drinking the blue pill smoothie, which a lot of us drink because we don't want to know that the Democratic Party is bad. I look at it like this. This man just got in office and he started outing all the excess spending that was being done by the Democratic Party. Just spending. And then you have all your, I would say, flunkies like Jasmine Crockett. I love the sister, but shit. I got love for you, sister, but your wig is crooked sometimes, and then you go on these tangents. It seems like a made-up argument that doesn't even make sense. It's just like, come on now, sister. Stop jumping out the window for the dominant society, not knowing exactly what is at stake. And what is at stake right now looks like they're trying to scare people with we're going to go into a recession. Okay, well, the last recession was 2008. The interest rates were 2.5%. The houses that were in my neighborhood in Las Vegas, Nevada were $50,000. So, since they're talking about a recession, I would suggest that foundational Black Americans start putting a little bit of paper to the side, work your job as much as you can, and then just let it tank. Let it tank. And then as Warren Buffett says, when you see people running away from the stock market, you run to it. Remember that. Watch what's going on, and don't let these tariff games scare you. Oh, Trump is really messing up now because, all the tariffs and all this other stuff. Look, man, it is what it is. You're not going to be able to stop it. It is not your game. Just know the social game rules. I'm done. Guilty, nigga. Peace.